Good evening, chat, and welcome to stream. Thank God for Buy One Mil. Thank Christ for that doctor. Fuck Relly and Ian. I fucking hate this fight. I mean, everyone warned me about it. Hannah was telling me about how, like, it thought that this fight was scarier than, Preston and Mara. And, like, Preston and Mara is still also demons. But, like, Relly and Ian is just so unnecessarily cruel. There's just so much going on in it that make it really, 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 really difficult. And I don't like that. I'm also gonna turn the music down a little bit. It's a little loud. But thank God for a beautiful, brilliant man who played this game before me, so I can steal his ideas. Preston Amara is really mostly just the opening. Relly and Ian are just consistently the worst, lol. Yeah, honestly, it's like, especially because if you can clear their first Pokemon, the rest of Preston and Mara has a really has really exploitable AI, evidenced by the fact that we exploited that AI. But yeah, so we're gonna have to do a sack to Relly and Ian, and we can figure out what that sack is in a minute. So, without too much ado, let's actually look at the fight, because I haven't written it down yet. So, for this fight, we need, I believe, Garchomp plus Mega Garchomp. Now, the line that we're borrowing, that we're taking inspiration from, wholesale inspiration, used, Omaster as their protect bot du jour. We don't have access to that, but I think we might have access to something even better. Sceptile. Sceptile plays a very important role of being slower than Aerodactyl / speed tying it at level 91, which means that Aerodactyl still sees it as slower, and being really good with an Assault Vest. So it's Garchomp, Sceptile, Corviknight. I've currently landed on Dreadnought, but it doesn't necessarily need to be Dreadnought. And Togedemaru. And I think we actually, yeah, we even have like a flex slot for this. It's a 5-mon line. So the main thing is that we want an Assault Vest on Sceptile here. Obviously, both of our Garchomps have Garchompite. We also sadly have to get rid of Bulldoze because we need Rock Tomb and we need Smart Strike. Do I need Garchomp for any of the other lines I have written up currently? Urshdrag, Noivern, Greninja, that's the first one we've got. No, Roserade. Then Swimmer Girl Katie, Noivern, Toge, Sneasler. Okay. The optional that's just Greninja. Houndoom, Urshifu, Turtonator, Basculegion, Arcanine, Dragonite. Arcanine, Sneasler, Greninja, Gyarados, Roserade, Houndoom. Cool. I can move these. I just, like, I don't want to have to permanently set these moves and then rearrange them later, but it's fine. So, Rock Tomb, Smart Strike. Rock Tomb, Smart Strike. So, this fight is in the sun, it's a double battle, and it's true doubles. You open up against Victory Bell and Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl has Unnerve and a Rock Gem. It has Stone Edge, Dual Wing Beat, Stealth Rock, and Protect. Just a very troublesome guy. And Victory Bell has a Solar Blade, Gunk Shot, Weather Ball, and Sleep Powder. And Chlorophyll and a Focus Sash. A similarly troublesome guy. Now, what's going to happen is we are going to open with regular Garchomp and regular Sceptile. Thanks to Assault Vest, Sceptile is able to show a kill to exclusively Gunk Shot, never Weather Ball. And we show a fast kill to either of Aerodactyl's moves. Thankfully, it doesn't matter which one, as long as it's one of them. So, Sceptile turn 1 is going to click Detect. We are not going to Mega Evolve Garchomp turn 1, because Critical Hit Rock Slide can kill Rock Tomb can kill Aerodactyl, and we need it to live a turn. So, we don't Mega Evolve, we do click Rock Tomb Doing so does just a big old chunk of damage, and it drops Aerodactyl's speed to be slower than Mega Garchomp. Now, on the following turn, Sceptile is baiting Gunk Shot, so we are going to swap it into Corviknight, while Mega Garchomp gets a fast kill on Aerodactyl. Once Corviknight hits the field, I don't even think we need to pre-damage it. Yeah, it just always shows a kill to Pyro Ball. So the problem with this fight, one of the problems with this fight is, for those of you who remember Protean Bug that Greninja had, the idea is that if a Pokemon has the ability Protean or Libero, if they are currently a fire type, they see all of their moves as getting the boosted damage from the sun. And if they aren't a fire type, they see none of their moves as getting the boosted damage from the sun. And if they're a water type, in the case of Greninja, they actually see all of their moves getting reduced damage due to the sun. And presumably the same principle applies to rain, but thankfully I don't think there are any rain fights that have Protean Pokemon in them. Now, the annoying thing about this Cinderace is making sure that it remains a fire type, so that way Mega Garchomp can kill it with Earthquake. Because if it turns into a fighting type, well, that's problematic. And the nice thing here is that Earthquake does a lot of damage to Victory Bell, but we actually get to benefit from that Focus Sash. We don't kill it, which is cool. I think there's maybe a weird world where actually, like, critting Victory Bell could be problematic, because I think we need to fake it out with Togedemaru later, but like we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So Cinderace hits the field because it sees a fast kill on Corviknight with Pyro Ball, and even with the bug, it doesn't see a kill with Low Sweep. So what we are going to do is have Garchomp get a slow kill on Cinderace with Earthquake, do a chunk of damage to Victory Bell, which breaks its Focus Sash. And then we are going to swap Corviknight into Dreadnought. Now, the nice thing is that Dreadnought lives Pyro Ball, and lives Gunk Shot. It actually lives both of those moves. It's really, really neat how Dreadnought lives both of those attacks, and they both can miss even. So, like, there's a chance it takes literally 0 damage. It dies to our Earthquake. Dreadnought is going to die to our Earthquake. It's really hard to get consistent damage off of this Cinderace. Like, I could look for options, but it's really hard to get consistent damage because Pyro Ball has a 10% chance to miss, and especially since we, oh, that's right. What move is Victory Bell going for that turn? It's going to go for Weather Ball, not Gunk Shot. You're right. Yeah, it's Weather Ball into Corviknight. Hold on. Hi, Izzy. That's right. I have to remind myself. Yeah, so we have to pre-damage Corviknight so that way it always dies to Weather Ball from Victory Bell, which is a very small pre-damage and doesn't risk putting us into Low Sweep range. So yeah, Dreadnought is going to take a Weather Ball and live, and it's going to take a Pyro Ball and live, and then it's going to take an Earthquake and to die. Unless I can maybe find something that can take all of those things and hovers over Earthquake, but no, not Aerodactyl. And again, the thing is, we really want Dreadnought to die here because this is a free opportunity to get Sceptile back onto the field. Now, we have partly pre-damaged Sceptile, specifically because once we take care of Cinderace, Victory Bell's still on the field. They're looking at this slot, so we bring in Sceptile, and we want them to bring in Mimikyu. Specifically, Sceptile needs to be pre-damaged down to 81.2%, which, as I mentioned, is barely above Weather Ball range thanks to Assault Vest. So it is now Sceptile and Garchomp versus Victory Bell and Mimikyu. They're still trying to get fast kills on Sceptile. Sceptile is going to click Detect. Garchomp is going to click Rock Tomb on Mimikyu, both to drop its speed, because that does drop its speed while it has Disguise up, and break its Disguise. Man, I'm so jealous of you people who are only just now getting your first warm days of the year. It's been mid-80s for like 2 weeks over here. We were supposed to get rain tomorrow, but I don't think that's likely anymore. Let me check the weather app. We've got a 24% chance of rain tomorrow. At like 6 in the morning. At least it's going to be cloudy all day. So, Mimikyu goes for Play Rough. The other important thing, our Garchomp is so bulky, it does not show a kill to Fairy Gem boosted Play Rough on Mimikyu. So, it wants to go for a kill on Sceptile. We break its disguise. Sceptile clicks Detect. Now, the line that we're stealing, the one that Buy One Mill uses, requires Golisopod, because Golisopod tanks the Weather Ball that would be going into the Solar Blade that would be going into the O-Master slot, and then that causes Golisopod to then swap into Togedemaru to take Play Rough. Thankfully, we're using Sceptile, so we're baiting Gunk Shot, which means Togedemaru is already immune to Gunk Shot, so we can just raw swap in to Mimikyu Play Roughing Togedemaru. Now, I do need to recall the end state of this line, because Togedemaru hits the field, and I think we don't Earthquake again. Or do we Earthquake again? No, because it's like Togedemaru clicks Fake Out into Victory Bell. And then Garchomp. I don't think it kills Mimikyu this turn, does it? It might. Hold on. Here, chat. Look at this window for a second while I pull up the YouTube video. So you can see the really cool line I'm stealing. No, I'm just gonna... I'll worry about it later. I need to remember the end state here, because I am wondering, like, do we get properly screwed if we accidentally kill Victory Bell vis-a-vis Earthquake crit into Fake Out crit? Because, yeah, it's Gunk Shot into Toge that does nothing. Okay, no, I think the line works if we accidentally kill Victory Bell early, because then we're just baiting high horsepower into Togedemaru on the turn we're clicking Spiky Shield. Because I think the idea is... Mimikyu will have used up its Fairy Gem at that point. I think it's required to Shadow Sneak into Garchomp. But I don't know if we have the guaranteed KO at that point, right? Like... Because, yeah, I think it was Fake Out into Victory Bell, Smart Strike into Mimikyu, and then on the following turn, it was Spiky Shield. I might need to do a bit of research to remember the end state of this line. Sorry, I never tabbed you guys back over. Here, do you all mind if I pull up a YouTube video really quickly, just to get a reminder for how this line goes? It's a pretty cool line for what it's worth. But I believe we should be able to recreate it. So here, give me just a second. Do my thing. Thank you, Pio. So, history... Okay, so I think it's that. So, okay.
Golisopod is...
Oop. So it's not quite centered right for you guys, but...
is pre-damaged so that the first Pokemon to hit it, which will be Victory Bell...
So this is what we're stealing, basically.
Because Victory Bell is Chlorophyll and definitely outspeeds.
So
this always activates our emergency exit. We come out and switch someone else in before Mimikyu can attack. Therefore, we get a safe switch into Togi. The reason I did all of this is because Togi actually dies if Play Rough and Solar Blade crit. So all of that was to just make Togi safe. So Togi comes in now.
And we don't have to worry about dealing with Solar Blade because we're swapping in on Gunk Shot. That's what it is. We're just Rock Tombing into Mimikyu twice, so that way we don't KO it. That makes sense. And then we're killing it with Smart Strike on the following turn.
up to the end game. Fairy Gem is fine.
And then it goes for Play Rough into Togedemaru because it's trying to kill the thing that we swapped out earlier. In his case, it was Omaster. In our case, it'll be Sceptile.
It's all okay. Now, Mimikyu's had its speed dropped significantly. It's actually almost definitely going to go... In fact, I think it's guaranteed to go for Shadow Sneak. Probably into Garchomp, which is fine. Oh god, not that. Don't misclick. We Smart Strike into Mimikyu, outspeed it. Victory Bell is going to be faked out this turn and does nothing.
Yeah, so I think it's fine if we KO Victory Bell, because what's going to happen after this turn is, in essence, he KOs Mimikyu. They're looking at the Togedemaru slot. Ursaluna sees a slow kill. Sharpedo sees a fast kill with close combat. Brings in Sharpedo. Sharpedo dies, not guaranteed to dual chop. So yeah, it's 93% to 100%. So, but if it hits into Spiky Shield, we're then able to KO with Dual Chop. Now, the thing is, it would be worrisome if we KO'd Victory Bell on that turn that we KO, whatchamacallit. But the nice thing is that both Ursaluna and Sharpedo see kills on Toge, and they never see kills on Garchomp. So I believe they would both go for attacks into Togedemaru, which means Toge can just Spiky Shield on this turn anyways. Gotta kill the Viewbot. And then at that point, it's Ursaluna versus Garchomp and Togedemaru. It's going to go for high horsepower or potentially payback into Toge. Both are fine. We're going to swap back to Corviknight, and Corviknight plus Garchomp just kind of take this guy on. Garchomp doesn't do a lot of damage, but he does enough. Mega Garchomp barely avoiding the play rough click from Mimikyu was wild. Thank you, Lax Nature. Yeah, no, honestly. Very, very... Well, let's see. Yeah, okay. Because we also have a decent defense IV, too. Yeah, very lucky, though. So I guess the main thing is just kind of figuring out, like... In theory, since we don't need a Gliscopod, we could also just bring in someone who swaps in on high horsepower or payback, like Ursaluna, because we're only using one of our choice items here. I think Ursaluna can swap it on both of those and then just fast kill with close combat. So we can just do that. Yeah. And again, that's assuming we even like bring in Luna early, right? Because what should happen is that if we don't crit Victory Bell, then we fake it out, it flinches, we kill Mimikyu, in comes Shark, Toge, Spiky Shields, Victory Bell hits into the shield, does nothing, Sharpedo hits into the shield, does nothing, Garchomp Earthquakes? Well, here, let me see, does he Earthquake with his Garchomp? I think he specifically just KOs the...
doesn't put us into any ranges that we need to worry about.
Because Earthquake would absolutely kill Victory Bell at this point. And I think it's like maybe not guaranteed
okay, now,
that we KO
baits in,
Shark.
Not the Ursaluna, because it's faster. It baits in the Sharpedo. Now, Garchomp's Earthquake doesn't kill Sharpedo always.
This might be a situation where I would advise against bringing your Shifu as a 6 if someone else might also do in that case. In case an extra attack is necessary. That's very true. Honestly, just like any guy who flies and doesn't die to payback.
It does 90% minimum. But we've got Spiky Shield, so it's guaranteed.
Okay, yeah, he does go for the Earthquake double kill. So I don't know if that necessarily works for us. I think we are a little short on damage. It comes like really, really close. Hold on, because it's 256, because it's not actually going to be taking the Life Orb damage, unfortunately. So 256 divided by 8 comes out to 32. 256 minus 32 comes out to 224. 223 is the lowest roll on Earthquake. So that's unfortunate. I don't think it's necessarily like a lose state per se. Because, well, no, because I guess what we'd need to make sure at that point is that if Earthquake fails to KO, that we have a way of taking care of Sharpedo once it hits the field. Yeah, because it can be a little problematic. The thing is, if it hits anything, we're fine, because it'll KO itself with Life Orb. Let's get some music again. Oop, yep, definitely don't want that open. Maybe had one of my Twitch tax documents still open. So glad I closed that before I accidentally tapped to it. My terribly straight friend called me Princess without prompting. I've made it. Congratulations, Pio. I'm so happy for you. Okay. So I guess we just need to consider, yeah, end game situations. Because he does do an amount of damage to Garchomp that makes me a little uncomfortable. Okay, because let's think about... So, Togedemaru clicks Spiky Shield. We failed to KO. Sharpedo gets Speed Boost off. It's faster than everything. It wants to probably close combat into the Toge slot, but I don't think it's guaranteed. It's a shame that I don't know if Garchomp is an E-Formon or not, because there's a part of me that's like, well, it'd be really easy if we just scaled its attack, but no, that's a very short-sighted idea. We could just plan around Victory Bell being alive. But if we're wrong about Victory Bell being alive, that could be problematic. Because, like, let's see what HP is Togedemaru going to be at after, like, Play Rough for Mimikyu. Because we can, in theory, give it a Citrus Berry. Because also our Toge is going to be level 91. Assuming we're using it for the thing we're using it for. Yeah, definitely still baits Weather Ball kill. Definitely still baits Close Combat kill. Definitely still baits High Horsepower kill. Okay. Yeah, our Fake Out actually does a lot of damage to Victory Bell. It's kind of funny. Yeah, because they're both attacking into Toge, and that's the important part. So, if we fail to kill Sharpedo, Victory Bell goes down, Ursaluna hits the field. Ursaluna's gonna want to go after Togedemaru. I think we can... Okay, so no crit Play Rough. Let's see, no crit Play Rough does 104 damage. So 242 minus 1. Oop. Minus 104. Comes out to 138. In which case, Ursaluna hits the field. Does see a kill with Payback. Because what's Payback? It does double damage if you hit them. Power doubles if the user moves after the target this turn. This includes actions taken through Instructor the Dancer abilities. Switching in does not count as an action. Interesting. Because let me see if, like, yeah, if Stone Edge was a Dark type move. Okay, yeah. So it's assuming that Payback does the boosted damage. Hannah, do you know if Payback calcs? Like it's always going to do the boosted damage? Might ask Dexcord that, or I'll, like, just Google it in there. I imagine someone's probably asked about it before. Payback. Lagging tail, I'm pretty sure. I don't believe it calcs as if it always does, but if you're faster and they're targeting into you, it should. Okay. So for purposes of calcs, because Togedemaru is faster than it, it's like, oh, payback's not minus priority, that's why. Okay. Interesting. So, let's see. I don't think we could ever, like, pre-damage in a way that always takes us out of potential paybacking range. Yeah, there's a bunch of subtle differences between payback and revenge/avalanche. I get that. See, and it's like, I know you're saying that I probably shouldn't use Urshifu here, but it is unfortunately really good at swapping in on this guy. And it's like, if Sharpedo's still alive, it can Aqua Jet to Plink it. Well, hold on, because that would also be an issue, right? Well, because at that point, we could, in theory, swap to Corviknight. Give Corviknight a... We can't give Corviknight a Citrus Berry because Ursaluna has Unnerve. Okay, so let's just assume that Victory Bell lives. Togedemaru at level 91. If it's really the best option, that's fine. It's just risk management. If you bring it, reduces more risk. That's the play. No, I totally understand what you mean. Yeah. So I'm wondering if we can calc this around just not needing to worry about it. Honestly, I'm wondering, do we actually even need Smart Strike for Mimikyu? Yeah, because Brick Break can't hit it and Rock Tomb can't do enough damage. I will say there are worse scales in the universe to spend than the one where we max our Garchomp's attack stat. But it wouldn't feel great. It's crazy that we're like a single point off. Because if we could guarantee that it was high horsepower, we could absolutely just swap to Corviknight, but I don't know if we can. Maybe if we gave Togedemaru leftovers? So let's see what's the most damage Togedemaru at level 91 can take. So critical hit. Yeah, leftovers might do it. Because we're not using any of our other choice items. So it's 242 divided by 16 is 15. 242 minus 156 comes down to 86. Plus 15 on the turn. Plus 15 on Fake Out Victory Bell. Rock Tomb Mimikyu. Or no, it's... So... Sceptile does detect on the turn we break Disguise. Then we swap to Togedemaru on the turn we use Rock Tomb. And then we use Fake Out on Victory Bell on the turn we KO Mimikyu. Okay, so Mimikyu always goes down this turn, and sometimes also Victory Bell. So Sharpedo, the earliest the bear can hit the field is at 116 HP. That's way less than I feel like it should be. I suppose it's because we're taking like 61%. Oh, how I wish we had Iron Ball. Iron Ball would make this so easy. Because we obviously... I was going to say, because we obviously can't pre-paralyze Togedemaru beyond the fact that, like, we need to be able to click multiple moves with it. It also just becomes... What's the word I'm looking for here? If you don't need Smart Strike, keeping Bulldoze also might open up some cool plays, possibly. That's true, but I think we need it for... Because Bulldoze will definitely do more damage to Mimi. Not significantly more, though. Yeah, the lack of Iron Ball will certainly be felt on some of these late-game doubles, but you've managed up to now. Honestly, I really haven't felt that the loss too hard. I think I've gotten so used to calcing without it, I kind of forget that it's even there. Okay. Because we could also, in theory, use someone other than Togedemaru, right? Literally just anyone who lives play rough and, like, can contribute to the fight. Well, maybe not, because then it just dies to Victory Bell. I will say there is also the situation where... maybe not. Because I'm thinking like, oh yeah, once Mimikyu sees that Garchomp fast kills it, it is stuck shadow sneaking into Garchomp. But like that could eventually do an amount of damage where it sees a kill with something else, or like someone else sees a kill on Garchomp. Yeah, because I don't even know if Togedemaru can guarantee not bait Solar Blade. It can't. Yeah, with leftovers, it's just too much. Hannah, tell me I'm dumb for wanting to use a scale in this fight. Tell me I'm dumb and I shouldn't do it. I need someone to talk me out of it. Because, like, there are worse places to use it than Garchomp, but... And it's to cover for, like, a 116. I could also just... RC. 226. 223. Yeah. RC would do it. We don't necessarily need all 6 rare candies, but I'd like them. Because, I don't know, what's... It's never going for Psychic Fangs into Toge, at least. We can pretty much always safely keep our HP above that range, so it's always either Crunch or CC. Or I just find someone who can swap in on both of these. I'd say not yet. I believe you can find a way. I probably can. Sharpedo is also Life Orb. Exactly. Sharpedo, as long as we swap into something who always lives a hit from Sharpedo, we're fine. Current thought is Torterra, honestly. Because Togedemaru, I don't think is ever baiting Return from Ursaluna. Yeah, as long as we give it a Citrus Berry, we never have to worry about Return. So it's always either Payback or H-Power. HHP. And then whatever attack Sharpedo does into it, it KOs itself. Unfortunately, Sharpedo isn't lowering its defensive at CC because if it has the opportunity to use CC, it's at 1 HP. Literally exactly 1, so it just dies to Life Orb anyways, because otherwise it's CCing into Spiky Shield, which doesn't get the defense drop. Yeah. It's funny, don't get me wrong, it's very funny, it just doesn't really do anything. Okay, because I'm currently trying to think about, it's like, what's the worst case scenario, right? Togedemaru fake out kills Victory Bell, in comes Ursaluna and Sharpedo on the same turn. We use Earthquake. Togedemaru uses Spiky Shield. We do a bunch of damage to Ursaluna. We probably kill Sharpedo, but if we don't, we can then swap to Torterra. Yeah, Torterra's not necessarily guaranteed to bait a hit, but I don't think crit return from Ursaluna plus crit Shadow Sneak from Mimikyu is dangerous. And I think at that point we're able to Earthquake into Dual Chop, especially if we like swap to Torterra, then swap to Corviknight. Just because, like, I think, yeah, crits from Sharpedo, or even, like, crunch into Defense Drop into Stone Edge. Well, it wouldn't be Stone Edge, it'd be Payback. Well, does Corviknight ever die? Hold on. Yeah, probably, right? Critical hit, crunch into Defense Drop, 83%. Yeah, even if it doesn't count swapping, that still absolutely kills. So yeah, I think this does it, right? So let's account for all worlds. So first world is the one where Victory Bell does not die to Fake Out as intended. So we use Fake Out on Victory Bell, and we KO Mimikyu. Togedemaru baits in Sharpedo. Sharpedo hits the field, wants to KO Togedemaru. Both Victory Bell and Sharpedo attack into Togedemaru. Garchomp uses Earthquake, clears Victory Bell and Sharpedo off the field. It's just Garchomp and Toge versus Ursaluna. Safe swap into Torterra, safe swap into Corviknight. Should give us plenty of time to take care of Ursaluna. Now, assuming the world where we bring out Sharpedo, we fail to kill it, though. It has the 1 HP left. It attacks into Torterra. Ursaluna attacks into Torterra. Sharpedo KOs itself. Garchomp gets a hit in on Ursaluna. Torterra then swaps to Corviknight. It's basically the same as the last round. And then in the world where we accidentally KO Victory Bell early, Ursaluna and Sharpedo hit the field. I think it's basically the exact same thing. I think Torterra being crit proof, like Garchomp really only needs like 2 solid hits into Ursaluna plus something from Corviknight. And honestly, Corviknight, can you learn any moves that are a little better here? Probably not, but... Fly, Heavy Slam, yeah, no. I don't think Rock Smash... Well, Rock Smash might do more than Smart Strike. It's slower, unfortunately, but... I don't hate it. Because, like, okay, so in this world, we hit Ursaluna with an Earthquake and a Dual Chop. Because, yeah, Ursaluna should always spend its first turn. I'm sorry, I don't know why this is so hard for me to conceptualize. So the other thing, I guess, is that Torterra is better at fighting Ursaluna than Corviknight is. So if for whatever reason it gets to come in. There is also actually the world where Ursaluna just baits high horsepower, which actually is a really good point, right? If Togedemaru only ever shows a kill to high horsepower, then we know that we're safe to swap to Corv, potentially, if Sharpedo's down. Yeah, no, I feel like the final turns of this fight feel a little freestyle, but thankfully I don't think... Garchomp always baits either return or high horsepower from Ursa. Yeah. So the main thing is just making sure that, like, Torterra taking Crunch into defense drop into high horsepower doesn't kill Tort, which it doesn't. And, like, ideally, Torterra baits a kill on the following turn, right? And annoyingly, Ursaluna's always in slot 1, so we don't get benefit from the whatchamacallit bug. Fake Tears, Hidden Power, Hurricane, Secret Power. Yeah. So, yeah, let me contemplate the turns. So in the world where we KO Sharpedo and Victory Bell at the same time, and Ursaluna hits the field, it sees a kill on Togedemaru. That is a swap to Torterra and a dual chop from Mega Garchomp. In theory, yeah, Woodhammer at that point does it. Because I think in that world, right, we swap to Torterra, and then if Garchomp's HP gets low, we swap Garchomp to Corviknight. And I think that's pretty free. Because, yeah, it's dual chop when he swaps to Torterra, dual chop on the following turn. And at that point, we just get it. We're faster than it, and we kill. In, like, all scenarios, where as long as we can do 1 point of damage with another guy functionally, right? Like, if Torterra is able to click Giga Drain, we're good. And if Torterra is not capable of clicking Giga Drain, that means Torterra took all of the hits, you know? So now, assuming it's Sharpedo and Ursaluna hitting the field, Sharpedo hits Torterra, we do dual chop into Ursaluna, Sharpedo KOs itself. Hashtag KO yourself. Yeah, it's the fact that we're always able to buy ourselves that first turn, right? Because if we get one turn without getting attacked, we then get one more turn getting attacked, like taking damage and high rolling, and then outspeeding and getting in that one last turn to get in a hit. And like, as long as Torterra hits the field early, or we're able to safely swap to Corviknight, yeah, I think like one Smart Strike plus 3 dual chops definitely kills. Okay. So yeah, the end state's a little bit of a flowchart, but it doesn't seem like a super messy one, and that's the important part. So, guess the thing I'm trying to figure out, right, is we're not using Sceptile anywhere else, I don't think. Yeah, we decided to use Roserade instead of Sceptile for the fight before this one. Because one thing we have to make sure of is our pre-damages for Corviknight and Sceptile. Got to make sure that they don't get fucked over by potentially getting a little micro level up. And, like, Torterra takes the most damage from return. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Like, I don't think Togedemaru ever baits Psychic Fangs, but if it did bait Psychic Fangs and I swapped to fucking Urshifu, I would feel like, God's biggest fool. I suppose I should note that there's no point in giving Torterra a healing berry, so instead we'll just give it like Miracle Seed, or we could give it leftovers. Could also give Corviknight leftovers as long as we plan its pre-damage around that. Okay. Pretty sure Garchomp is already level 91. So, Teach, Gark, R-Tune, and S-Strike. I don't think we're doing any pre-status. Yeah. Don't even need to pre-damage Dreadnought, 'cause it just dies to our own Earthquake. Words. Words, words, words. Equip Gark with Garchompite. 07 Dreadnought, wish it could stay, but it's been a good run. I mean, I could in theory find a guy to sack other than Dreadnought. I'm just trying to figure out who's more of a do-nothing bozo than Dreadnought. And it's like, even if I was to say like Togekiss, I literally can't sack Togekiss to Earthquake. Audino maybe? But the problem, well, okay, no, Victory Bell does attack first with Weather Ball, so as long as we can set Audino up to be able to live Weather Ball. It kind of doesn't die to Earthquake. Just refreshing the page so it'll get us back to the fight. Chomp. Mega Chomp. Sept. Dread. I just remember my Dreadnought being nice for a couple VR fights, but mine also had Rock Tomb and Rock Slide, you know? Yeah, it's like, I don't know. We've got other guys who can click Rock Tomb, and it's like, ah, God. I know Armaldo isn't necessarily as useful, but it is way more defensive and also has an ability that makes it crit proof. Like, yeah, 148 base defense versus 195. It's actually less than I thought it would be. With, admittedly, kind of substantially lower HP, like 40 less points. Yeah, okay, maybe Dreadnought's a little better. I don't know. It's like Armaldo's our only guy who can click stab bug moves. Truly the only one. And I like Kecleon. I like having a guy who can click Fake Out. Kecleon does some fun stuff, and I think it'd be really funny to be able to try to champ Kecleon since no one's done it. It's less about the stats and more about the typing / crit immunity, if I recall correctly, but I think it's still the choice. Yeah, it's... I worry that I'm going to regret it. But it's fine. I have no time for regrets. Yeah, I just don't know who else I would like sack to it other than like Zoroark. But I want Hisui and Zoroark. I want it. I've come so far. You've got strong enough stuff. It'll be fine. Okay. So equip Gark with Garchompite. Dreadnought. That's right. Togi. Oh, I forgot. Corviknight. Dreadnought, Togi, Torterra. Equip Gark with Garchompite. Equip Sept with Assault Vest. Equip Corv with, I don't know, like Metal Coat? Give that motherfucker a coat. Yeah. Like Metal Coat or Leftovers. See, the funny thing is actually, this Ursaluna really wants to click Stone Edge into Corviknight, so like, Corviknight clicking Roost, getting rid of its flying typing, Lamau, XD even. Equip Corv with Metal Coat. Oh, that's right, okay, we do need to do our pre-damages for Sceptile and Corviknight. So, pre-damage, Sept to... I don't know their current XP levels, so I'll just do recalc based on current level. Pre-damage. Corv to recalc based on current level. Just because it's kind of hard to predict, right? I might need to level them up a single time, and I don't want to forget to update my numbers. Oh shit, a turtle of disproportionate size. Of Poquito size. Bequita. Equip Dread with TM 37. Equip Toge with Citrus Berry. Equip Tort with Miracle Seed. Sounding really far away. Hi. Hello. Okay. So, yeah, because it's Victory Bell and Aerodactyl, so we want Garchomp and Sceptile. Because once we KO Aerodactyl, we want to bait in Cinderace. Yeah. Open with Gark and Sept. Do not Mega Evo. And I'll just put that. Do not Mega Evo. Use R Tomb on Arrow. Use Detect. Mega Evo and KO Arrow with R Tomb. Swap to Corv. Swap to Vict and Sind. OHKO Sind with Earthquake. Sind and Dread with Earthquake. Swap Corv to Dread. Swap Corv to Dread to Sack to Sep. Use R Tomb on Mimi. Use Detect. Use R Tomb on Mimi. Swap to just swap to Toge. KO Mimi with S Strike. Use F out on Vict. Swap to Char and... not Char and Vict. It is Vict and Char. Because it's looking at the Togedemaru slot to determine what comes in. Just KO, Vict, and Char with Earthquake. Use S Shield. Swap to Ursa. Oop, hold on. Swap to Vict and Mini. Use D-Chop on Ursa. Swap to Tort. Use, and I assume a Torterra with Miracle Seed definitely probably kills. Believe it or not, it doesn't. I suppose Assault Vest. Though, depending on its HP, we could also just be safe to... Yeah, if we're coming in on high horsepower or payback, we're probably safe to click Woodhammer, right? Because that'll be coming off the back of 2 dual shops. Like, we can Giga Drain if it seems like we need to. Yeah, I think so. Use D-Chop on Ursa. KO Ursa with W. Ooh, do I KO with W Hammer? Well, first things first, W Hammer Lamau. I should just click Woodhammer, right? Because the mythical Garchomp 7 frag fight, right? Okay. Note to self. The fight can get a little weird towards the end based on a few 1 in 16 rolls. It should be fine. Just play smart. Okay. Only one more fight to calc. That's right, I left this note to myself. Congrats, Diva, you have defeated the weather. Chat, I'm so funny. I understand why you all watch me. Okay. Let's listen to some other music. Hello, chill Omori Undertale / Deltarune music. I just need something kind of relaxing to listen to while we calc this last fight. God, I'm really scared. I think we're gonna probably... Okay. So, yeah. So, what I'm thinking is, before we dive into this next fight, I kind of just want to get fight number 5 taken care of. I think it's fight number 6, actually. It's the fight before Swimmer Girl Katie. Because Swimmer Girl Katie is... No, yeah, this is fight number 5. So Swimmer Girl Katie is the one fight that does actually require a scale. We have to teach Togedemaru U-turn. Oh, that's funny. Also, yeah, if we get into a situation where it's Togedemaru and Ursaluna and whatnot, we can U-turn off of Ursaluna for free damage. But yeah, what I'm thinking about, right, is getting that fight done, because that one doesn't cost any investment, right? It's literally just leveling up some guys, teaching Urshifu Thunder Punch, and then, like, winning, right? And then after that, once we calc that last fight, we can see, like, okay, what needs to... Do we need to be, like, strict about leveling up, not leveling up? Are there any other fights that require resources and all that? So I do think I kind of just want to get Rodney taken care of. Because we calced that one a while ago, and thankfully I don't think it's going to be too tough of a time. So this is Rodney. His main gimmick is his Pukey Mukey, but we already got our calcs done. So for this fight, I'm just going to refresh. Rain. So we need Urshifu. We need Noivern. Noivern, where are you? Noivern, where are you? There you are. Basculegion and Greninja. Dragonite. Yeah, thankfully this fight actually is, like, really straightforward. It just took we had a hard time figuring out how to fit, like, a few pieces into place. And then Roserade in the back. So for this fight, Urshifu needs the Choice Scarf. And Thunder Punch, which I think we already have on its moveset from what we calced this fight before. We need Life Orb on Noivern, I think. Was it Life Orb? Yeah. We don't need anything in particular on Basculegion, but we do need it pre-paralyzed. We need King's Rock on Greninja for the funnies. Dragonite needs our other Choice Scarf. And Roserade just needs a Lumberry. Okay. So, first turn to this fight, Urshifu versus Mantine. This Mantine can be a real demon, a real RNG nightmare. We're just going to fast one-hit KO it with Choice Scarf Thunder Punch. It's like super specially defensive, so it's actually really hard to find something that can effectively one-shot it, like Hisuian Electrode. So thankfully, we have Urshifu to take care of that. Once it goes down, we are faster than everything on their team. 226, 190, 190, 171, 41. So Guergeist is going to come in because it's the first thing that sees that it outdamages us, because I believe none of these other guys kill. Even Drifblim Explosion needs a crit to kill, and we threaten it with Surging Strikes, even if it doesn't know that we can't click it. Yeah, like Masquerain could come in for slow kill, but we threaten a kill with Surging Strikes, so it doesn't come in. Blastoise, and then Pukamuku is weird. So, Gourgeist is going to come in. We are going to pre-damage, so that way we always show a kill to Power Whip specifically. We could pre-damage down to Shadow Sneak, but we kind of don't need to. So we are pre-damaged to always show a kill to Power Whip, so that way it never goes for Explosion, which means we get a free swap into Noivern. We don't care if Power Whip hits, we don't care if Power Whip misses. Noivern hits the field. Gourgeist is required to go for a Shadow Sneak at level 90. Do we have to go all the way up to 90, or can we do it at 89? Yeah, we gotta be 90. At level 90, we one-hit KO it with Air Slash. And then after that, I believe it's... Yeah, we threaten a fast kill on Masquerain. We show that we outdamage Blastoise. So it's just going to be Drifblim next, because we also outdamage Pukamuku. And like if our HP were to get... I don't think there's ever a ratio where we could accidentally bring in Blastoise before Drifblim. And even if that happened, I don't think it's necessarily a problem. Yeah, because like, I don't know, what's... Because we do more damage to Drifblim than it does to us. Quick reminder of all rolls for Surging Strike. Yep. I was aware of that. Surging Strikes against Drifblim. Though Drifblim has Focus Sash, actually, so that doesn't prevent it from coming in. But Gourgeist does more damage anyways. But yeah, bottom roll of Surging Strikes also kills Masquerain, and then we don't care about Blastoise. Yeah. I was going to say, I think someone was actually just running into that issue in Dexcord earlier today, where they got gimmicked by Wicked Blow, not always KOing. And they came face to face with a Heracross when they didn't mean to. Okay, so. Yeah, no, I literally don't think there's ever an issue with Noivern, or with Roserade. Because, like... Yeah, it's funny. I think if, like, we accidentally bring in Blastoise, or, like... Because what I'm trying to see, right, is, like, Noivern does more damage to Blastoise than Blastoise does to Roserade. Okay, here's how we get this ratio, right? Is we do... So, 27.5... divided by 60.2. So there is a ratio of approximately 45% damage. Okay. Is there ever a world... Here, let me just, like, calc it, right? Max damage in all situations. So Power Whip into Shadow Sneak, both crit, both max roll, plus our Life Orb loss. So 269 minus 76 comes out to 193. minus Power Whip. Minus 55, comes out to 138, and then we lose another 26. Brings us down to 112. I think in that world, Blastoise might be able to come in early. So what's 74 divided by 112? 66%. Okay, so there is an incredibly small chance. And theoretically, if we get crit by Power Whip, I think we can literally just Roost. I think Gourgeist is forced to Shadow Sneak at that point. So I think we're fine, actually. But again, if Blastoise came in early, I don't think that's a problem. Because if Blastoise comes in early, we can just swap to Roserade, kill it. That baits in Masquerain for... It can never be Stun Spore is the important thing, because we're a Grass type. So we just swap to Dragonite. We take... Oh yeah, we only have to worry about taking one hit, that's why. I was like, hold on, Air Slash does more damage than I feel like it should. Yeah, so we bring in Dragonite, Choice Scarf lets us fast kill with Dual Wing Beat, then in comes Drifblim, and we don't care what move Drifblim goes for because we're swapping to a pre-paralyzed Basculegion. Shadow Ball never kills. If it explodes, we're fine because we're a ghost. Obviously, Weather Ball doesn't kill. Point is, we always bait Shadow Ball or maybe Weather Ball, at which point we can then swap to Greninja, fling a King's Rock, KO with Dark Pulse. Pyukumuku always comes in last. I think the only way Pyukumuku doesn't come in last is if your current Pokemon threatens a fast KO on the next thing that comes in. But even then, Pyukumuku coming in early, I don't think really matters. Is kind of the like main thing, right? Because if Blastoise clicks Iron Defense when Roserade swaps in, that doesn't matter. We're faster than you. We're killing you with a special attack anyways. If it clicks Body Press, we're fine. If it clicks Scald and burns us, we're fine because we have a Lumberry. Now, what should happen, barring the one really weird circumstance, is Noivern KOs Gourgeist, Drifblim hits the field. It wants to go for either Shadow Ball or Explosion or Thunder Wave. We swap to Basculegion. Basculegion can't be paralyzed because it's already paralyzed. Can't die to an explosion. We already established Shadow Ball, right? Funny that we actually threaten a KO with Poltergeist, but we can't because it has Focus Sash. So we are going to swap to Greninja. Greninja outspeeds. It never blows up on the turn we swap to Greninja because we currently have a Ghost type on the field who never can, they don't blow up on Ghosts because that does no damage. Gren hits the field, flings a fast King's Rock, does 116 damage. 389 minus 116 comes out to 273. Dark Pulse does a minimum of 278, so we don't even need to level up Greninja. At that point, Masquerain should come in because it sees that we don't kill it, and it kills us with Bug Buzz and potentially Air Slash, depending. The important thing is that it never goes for Stun Spore because it always sees a kill no matter what our HP is at. So that is a free swap to Dragonite, who then takes the hit, outspeeds, KOs with Dual Wing Beat, brings in Blastoise because we outdamage Pyukumuku. Blastoise's field goes for either Scald or Iron Defense. We swap to Roserade, who KOs Blastoise. And now in this world, it is Roserade versus Pyukumuku. We don't want to actually manually kill Pyukumuku, even though we theoretically could if we swap to reset our Leaf Storm. Because Pyukumuku's ability, Innards Out, says that when it dies, the move that killed it, the guy who used that move takes damage equal to what they did to with the attack that killed Pyukumuku, right? That's 0 damage if it dies to something like Toxic. And this guy can be a real son of a gun because he's got Recover and Double Team and Soak and Toxic. Pyukumuku's gimmick is that it's a Pokemon that learns no attacking moves, or at least no, direct offensive moves. So it has Soak to make you no longer immune to Toxic, and then Toxic to Toxic you, Double Team to make it impossible to hit, and Recover to constantly gain back all of the HP it loses hitting you. Or, if you ever get lucky enough to land a hit, right? Given we also have Magical Leaf, but again, if we crit kill it with Magical Leaf, it has more max HP than we do, and we just die. So the idea is because we are a poison type, Toxic skips the evasion check or accuracy. So even if it had 6 stages of Double Team, Toxic always hits. And at that point, we can literally just swap back and forth between Pokemon. The idea is to essentially swap to Basculegion, who can't be Toxic because he's already paralyzed. So it'll just go for soak or double team, and then we swap to someone who isn't toxic, and then it'll probably try to toxic them when we swap back to Basculegion, and we do that back and forth theoretically ad infinitum, right? And that should let Pyukumuku KO itself. All right. So, let's say we at least get that one fight out of the way. Seems solid. Thank you, Hannah. Yeah, no, the main thing was just trying to figure out a situation where we could safely disarm that Drifblim. Okay. So, step one, do we have any flyers? We do. We need 2 choice scarves. Pronto. Bag that, bag that, bag that, bag that. Oh yeah, and that was, oh no, Masquerain doesn't actually have, why did I think this Masquerain had a, Focus Sash? I wonder if I'm mixing it up with a different Masquerain. Not that that matters even slightly. So we've got Urshifu, Noivern, Basculegion already on the team? No. Basculegion. Greninja. Dragonite. And Roserade. Roserade. Okay. Hello everyone. So first, let's get everyone to the levels we need them to be. So Roserade has to get up to 91, and Noivern has to be 90. Okay. Sir, I need some scarves, please. Alcohol and period does not mix. Pyo, oh no. Okay, so I have to equip the choice scarf before to let me swap out the other. I wonder if it's like the index number of the item. So like choice scarf sits above, I think assault vest is currently what we have in there. So like it's trying to swap out the thing lowest on the list. Or it could just be that it's the newest item I got. Whoa, Godspeed, Brave Warrior. Assault Vest, trade that out for Choice Scarf. Okay. Give that Choice Scarf to Deidre. Then we need a Life Orb for Chaucer. Don't need anything for Diosa. Need a King's Rock for Soul. And Rose just needs a Lumberry. And all we need to do is teach Urshifu Thunder Punch, do a little pre-damage, do a little paralysis. I am not forgetting the pre-damage this time. See, the nice thing about fucking up something like that is it really does just kind of get burned into your skull, right? We actually had a really close call during Magma Hideout, I think, where I almost forgot to teach a very critical move. I think it was a TM. And I'm like, if I didn't do that, we would have been fucked. Thunder Punch. liquidation. Okay, now let's fly back over to Shitopolis City. Okay, so apply status, paralysis to Diosa. And then pre-damage Urshifu to 192. Slot 1 to 192. Confirming that 192 is what we need to be at. It is. And that never also baits Poltergeist, which is good, because Poltergeist does way too much damage to Noivern. Thank you, Urshifu, for being weak to grass moves. It's a really annoying trait for you to have later, but for right now, it's super, super nice. Diosa is level 91, confirming that it never dies to a Shadow Ball from Driftblim. Correct, it takes at most 92.7%. Okay. Okay, so let's check our guys. Levi has the Choice Scarf, knows Thunder Punch, is pre-damaged to 192. Chaucer has the Life Orb, full HP, knows Air Slash. Diosa has no held item, is paralyzed. Soul has the King's Rock and Dark Pulse, is at full HP. Deirdre is at full HP, has a Choice Scarf, knows Dual Wing Beat. Roserade has Leaf Storm, has Toxic, has a Lumberry. Man, I can't imagine what this game is like if you, like, never get a Toxic Mon. Like, we got so lucky we got Roserade, because I think it's literally the only guy we've had who knows Toxic. I'm pretty sure you can avoid the optionals if you just cling to the left side, but like this makes me feel the safest. Battle time, Yippee. Battle time, Yippee, indeed. Okay. So we already fought you. We already fought you two. I believe we fought you two last time, saving the game just in case. Yeah. I think this is a big open area, because I watched other people do a bunch of the fights in erratic weather for Inspo, and like this part of the map is really scary, but it doesn't actually have any optionals in it. Like this specific chunk. It's just really intimidating looking. And then there's the next mandatory right down there. Because I believe the next optional is it after this guy? No, it's after Katie. Okay, final vibe check. Choice Scarf, 192, Thunder Punch. Confirming that Choice Scarf for Shifu does in fact outspeed Mantine. It totally does. Life Orb, Noivern, with Air Slash, always KOs Gourgeist. Funny enough, Draco Meteor. Hold on, wait, do I just kill it with Draco Meteor? No, because that's what I'd need choice specs for this. Because I'm already using Life Orb. Yeah, so Air Slash. No held item, you're just there for Driftblim. King's Rock. Oh yeah, I guess I should reconfirm one last bit, right? Which is what happens if Basculegion swaps in on a Drifblim that goes boom. So we are 3-4-3. We are paralyzed. I think it's just... Yeah, I think at that rate it's just Masquerain anyways. Because it sees that it outspeeds us, doesn't outdamage, but neither does Blastoise. Yeah, totally fine. We basically just skip using Greninja. Okay. Bold certainty of math. God, imagine being a swimmer out here during erratic weather. Fucking demonic. So out comes Mantine, out comes Levi. It's raining. Mantine has really good special defense, has not very good physical defense. Thanks to the Scarf, we are faster than it, so we are going to Choice Lock ourselves into T-Punch. To punch. Kills Mantine. We're faster than everything on their team. The first thing that sees a slow kill on us is Gourgeist with Power Whip. We are pre-damaged to always show a kill to Power Whip, so that way it never explodes. It should not matter if Power Whip misses. We are going to swap to Chaucer. Missed. Okay. Definitely don't ever have to worry about the Blastoise line. Gourgeist sees we outspeed and one-hit KO, so it's going to go for Shadow Sneak. We're going to kill it with Air Slash. We outspeed, outdamage every... Crit mattered. Outspeed, outdamage everything on their team, so they're going to bring in just the next thing in line, which is Drifblim. Okay. I think the thing Drifblim wants to do more than anything is paralyze us right now, but there is still a chance it could explode. There's also a chance that it just goes for highest damaging move in Shadow Ball. We are going to swap to Diosa, who is fine with any of those outcomes. Yep. Okay. It can't explode against Diosa because we're a ghost type. It can't Thunder Wave against Diosa because we are paralyzed. So it just wants to go for highest damaging move, which is Shadow Ball, which Soul takes with grace. Okay. Would not have mattered if it dropped our special defense. It has a Focus Sash, so to get around that, we are going to fling our King's Rock, forcing it to flinch. And then fling into Dark Pulse is a KO. Now, we are showing a fast kill to, or a slow kill to Masquerain with Bug Buzz. So it wants to go for that, which means it never goes for Stun Spore. Very important. It gets off Intimidate, which does not matter. Okay. Against this, we swap to Deidre. Deidre always lives Bug Buzz, doesn't matter if it drops her special defense. Loses a little bit of HP. And thanks to our other Choice Scarf, we are faster than Masquerain, KO with Dueling Beam. Crit mattered. We outspeed, outdamage both Blastoise and Pyugamuko, so it's just going to be Blastoise. Out comes the Blast. Blastoise is going to go for either Scald or Iron Defense. It does not matter which one it chooses. I think we'd prefer Iron Defense. We swap to Rose. Just because, like, if we get burned by Scald, it's a little annoying. Mint Mod, can you please ban Grown Up Smackingly? I don't even know how to pronounce that. Nice, no burn. Okay, he might click protect once or twice. It doesn't change anything. We kill him with Leaf Storm. Now, last in is the gimmick Pokemon Pyukumuku, who we kill through entropy via Toxic. So this thing has Toxic, Soak, Recover, Double Team. It just wants to waste your time. Mint Mod? I asked you to ban a guy? Sorry, I realized my wife didn't hear me. I heard her clicking. That's because she's playing a game. So Toxic bypasses accuracy check. It's going to go for either Soak or Double Team. And it currently has leftovers as its held item. So, not that big a deal. Okay, so the thing is, we can just kind of keep clicking Toxic to stall for turns until it clicks Soak on us. And even afterwards, actually, because we still have our... Well, we don't need to waste our Lumberry. So yeah, because we don't want to actually do damage. Goes for the team. Also, thank you, Mint-Mod, if I didn't say that. Heals a little. And then takes poison badly. This thing really wants to get hard to hit. I do think technically we also have exact calculations determining what Pyukumuku's HP is on any given turn if we just wanted to like suddenly kill it with Magical Leaf and live innards out, but I'd rather not have to worry about that. Bum 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 ba da ba da ba da da da. Yeah, I think while it's still IHP, Double Team is incentivized like the Noivern. It's insane that no one has gone out of their way to figure out what the actual AI for Double Team is. Because yeah, that was the 5th Double Team it went for. I don't know if it's able to click Recover while Toxic. Okay, it has made us wet. Chat, I'm sorry, you did just witness Yuri. So now that we're a water type, it is incentivized to Toxic us, but there's no reason to waste our Lumberry. So let's just swap to our untoxicable Diosa. Yuri on water, excellent point, Pio. That was the 6th Double Team. Jesus Christ. At this point, I'm almost sad that it's dying this soon. I want to see if the AI knows to stop clicking Double Team. You know? 35 mandatory battles remain. We are halfway through Erratic Weather, I believe. It's just tough to test, I guess, because even incentivized, it's still probably just +7, and it's still overlapping with highest damage. And it's tough to know where that HP threshold is exactly. Yeah, no, it's one of those things where you'd have to, like, do it in sandbox mode, I think is the easiest way to deal with that. Like, thankfully, that Pyukumuku is the best thing to test it against, I feel like. So, Chaucer, take us home. That was a real nice, clean fight. Woo, Yuri, by the way. Thanks, Hannah. And I'm glad I went out of my way to make sure that, like, even if Blastoise came in early, we wouldn't be doomed. Because that would have been bad. Okay. So I'm going to save the game and leave you all with the banger erratic weather music. And I'm gonna go pee. So I will be right back. Okay. Let's get back to it. So yeah, and nice to get that one out of the way. I'm just trying to put off having to do Swimmer Girl Katie for as long as possible because I worry about the line. I don't think the odds are actually that bad. I'm pretty sure it's like, you know, it's Fictionville, right? But Fictionville is still scary. So it's like, I don't know, I kind of want to see if I can tighten that line up a little bit. But yeah. It's mostly just like, it's another line that I'm funny enough stealing from Buy One Mill. And his version of the line only needed Toxicroak to manually swap out 3 times instead of the 4 that we need. Although I suppose technically we don't really need it to manually swap out 4 times. No, we kind of do, because I think our line is calced around the bonus damage that Togedemaru does with U-turn, and that's problematic. Okay. So I kind of want to worry about... I kind of want to have a little more time to fiddle with that line, so I really want to, like, let's just jump up to Swimmer Boy Herman. I just wanted to get that one fight in between them out of the way finally, because I'm like... I have no reason to dread Rodney, so, like, might as well, you know, tighten that up. That being said, I'm pretty sure Swimmer Boy Herman isn't that bad. This is a rain fight. Okay. So, first things first. Koba Berry... Flying type attacks. Okay. Assume we need Head Smash. Yeah. Water Bubble. So this Pokemon's offensive stat is doubled while using a water type attack. If a Pokemon uses a fire type attack against this Pokemon, that Pokemon's offensive stat is halved. This Pokemon cannot be burned. Okay, so it doesn't reduce damage from non-fire type attacks. And it's got a I see. Okay. Definitely don't do enough with Dual Wing Beam. So it seems like Rock's our best bet here, unless... As a water bug type, what are your weaknesses? You are still weak to electric. Okay. Very good to know. But also you have insanely high special defense. So... Like, does Urshifu Thunder Punch get you? No. Stone Edge from Armaldo would be really nice if we didn't get one shot by Liquidation. And this thing wants to set Sticky Web too. Ew, ew, ew. Okay, what about our Rapid Spin, guys? Which, funny enough, includes Armaldo, who dies to Liquidation. It's also just a question of, like, if we hit with a hard enough dual wing beat, right? Like, Choice Band. Because, okay, so let's just, we do 81 damage with the first hit, and that eats up the berry, right? With Choice Band, Dina, yeah, Hannah, we had the same thought. So 252 minus 81 brings it down to 171, 162. Not quite. Though I do wonder, actually, Choice Band Aerodactyl, who has a nerve, so it never actually benefits from the berry in the first place. I think, ooh, that's like right on the line. Nice! 126 twice. I love the very, very niche tech of using Choice Band to, or using a nerve to get around damage reducing berries. It's sometimes a thing you can do with, ooh, actually, yeah, okay, so it's also an option with Corviknight if we need it. Going to level 91 with the Sharp Beak, I think that also totally does it, and we can just account for whatever recoil damage we take, like... So we'll have it be Aerodactyl for right now, but if we don't need it to be Aerodactyl, we can make it someone else. Is there anyone that's faster than us? No. So I'm immediately not liking what I'm seeing here because baiting Thunder or Aqua Tail. Damn, Corviknight. Okay, I know Corviknight consistently baits only Thunder. I'm sorry, Aerodactyl. I think we gotta make it Corviknight, actually. I'm sorry, Bubby. Maybe next time. Corviknight just does it better. Corv also baits Electros because it's slower and always dies to Thunder, even after any amount of Brave Bird recoil. So, Sharp Beak. Yeah, I'm not going to bother doing the level because, yeah, we're faster than Araquanid, but we are slower than Electros. Nothing else is faster in C's KO. Faster than Aerodactyl? Correct, because we need to be 91. And at level 91, we have 222 speed. Scrafty is slower. Metagross is slower. Porygon is slower. Jellicent is slower. And we don't threaten any kills on... Electros is faster than Corv. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Well, what level do we have to be at? Okay, we have to be at least 90. I don't think we would outspeed it at 91. Yeah, at 91 it's a speed tie, which means they think they're faster. So yeah, it's always Electros. Which is fine. Getting Electros on Thunder is like the ideal situation. We just need a guy who can 2-hit KO effectively. Who's probably named Mega Garchomp. Yep. Mega Garchomp, fast 2-hit K is this guy, and we're taking Thunder into Super Fang. So we even know what Garchomp's HP is going to be at. Which is pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So we do that. We have Mega Garchomp. It doesn't necessarily need to be Mega Garchomp, but... Because, like... It kind of does. Dragon Fang doesn't really do it. I mean, we could with the Life Orb, but then we're losing a lot of HP. Yeah. So I like Mega Garchomp here at 50% HP, which, yeah, would be 149. 297 divided by 2. Yeah, 149. Okay. So at 149, who's faster than us? I think Porygon. Ooh. Rough Skin would complete that range, right? That's true, Rough Skin would complete the range. But also, I'm now noticing, with a little bit of pre-damage, we could even probably guarantee Tri-Attack on Porygon Z. Am I literally just... I think I'm also ripping off a buy one line. Wait. Because, yeah, we bait that into... No, I don't think our attack is good enough to kill with Liquidation in the Rain. Oh, God, it's also Analytic. Yeah, so we definitely would prefer to swap to... Yeah, okay. So in theory, it's either Tri-Attack or Nasty Plot. We could probably pre-damage such that we always get brought down into Nasty Plasty range. Well, maybe not. It's like, at what point does Super Fang start doing less damage than theoretical max rolls of Aqua Tail? But yeah, no, Hannah, you're totally right, though. Super Fang into Garchomp would complete that range. So, worth keeping in mind. Though, I will note, it does... Mega Evolving, we actually get the benefit of becoming slower than Porygon Z, because I think without that, we're faster than everything, so we're just baiting down the line. And nothing here is particularly great for us. Funny enough, I think it would be Porygon Z anyways. Choice Band doesn't quite do it. So what we could do... Ooh, no, you bait Thunder. So maybe instead of you, we could use Delmise. I assume your kill here is with Explosion. Yeah. So if we used Delmise into Porygon Z, we could be pre-damaged to always bait Dark Pulse. To swap in her Shifu, we don't even need Choice Scarf. And we just kill with Surging Strikes. Ooh, hold on. I don't think that kills the Choice Band, but damn, does it come close. Oh no, it has Aya Papa Berry, which I think that's one of the healing berries, right? Yeah, so Surging Strikes probably never kills that. I mean, maybe. Oh, it's such a shame we almost threatened KO against Jellicent. Because I'm like, if we could threaten KO against Jellicent, KO Porygon Z with Surging Strikes to bait in Scrafty to also die to Surging Strikes because it just sees that we fast kill down the line. Hey, boss. Hey, Skitty. Welcome to stream, hun. Okay. Analytic Bug. Analytic Bug. We outspeed Electros, so Porygon currently thinks we're faster than it. Ooh, Analytic Bug could actually work against us. No, it couldn't. We never bait Dark Pulse. We always bait Tri-Attack. Okay, good to know. So we don't need to worry about pre-damage. For once, we get to turn Analytic Bug into our favor. So that's just really nice. Because, yeah, it means... I don't know. It's like... I feel like we're so close to just being able to KO this guy with Liquidation. Because we definitely can't swap Urshi in on Tri-Attack. That is a disaster waiting to happen. Though, I suppose what we can do is swap to, not Bascullegion. See, it's like, I wish I could use Basket Legion, but I can't. God, Delmise, you're so almost good enough in so many situations. Okay, we could force a nasty plot. I think. Yeah, because this is currently calcing with Analytic, right? So as long as Diosa is frozen and has like an assault vest, and we're currently using none of our choice items. Though I suppose at that point it kind of doesn't matter now, does it? Yeah, because if we don't show a kill, it doesn't see a kill on us. Okay, so we could send in a frozen guy, bait nasty plot, get... I was about to say Sneeze Alarm. Shocked you don't one-hit KO, but that's because of fucking Choppleberry. Also, if you swapped into the Delmise, Analytic Bug would be active and it would see a kill. Is that the case? Okay. I mean, in theory, Delmise could also just use Assault Vest in the same way we'd use it for Basket Legion. So it's, you know, same difference. Right? Like, as long as it goes for Tri Attack and doesn't see a kill with Thunder. Also, thank you very much for the gift sub, Pyo. Skitty, enjoy your sub. So yeah, Analytic Bug means that it always goes for Tri Attack. Swap into Frozen Basket Legion with Assault Vest to make it go for Nasty Plot. Swap to Urshifu of any held item. Kill it with Surging Strikes. So with no held item, we're faster than everything. We would bait in Jellicent. Fuck, I actually don't know under what situation it would use Strength Sap. So chat, forgive me, flashbang warning. Damaging attack, special attack reduction moves with guaranteed effect. Is that? No. Strength Sap. Oh, wait. Standard recovery moves. If the AI decides it should heal, +7. Otherwise, +5 if AI HP is full. So, what I'm gathering is that it never clicks Strength Sap if it's at full HP. Yeah, it's a recovery move first and foremost. Okay. So, I'm thinking we definitely don't want to take a water spout from this thing. You know, honestly, now I'm thinking, actually... Ooh. What do you bait? You bait Crunch? Which doesn't kill Urshifu. Because what I'm thinking right now is maybe we actually do use Assault Vest Delmise. Assuming that that works. I think it does. See, the nice... honestly, we kind of don't even need to come in on a nasty plot boost. Urshifu could absolutely swap in on... it'd probably be fine, right? Choice Band T-Punch would do so much at minimum damage. Oh, you know what? I did totally forget that Water Spout is HP-based, yeah. Yeah, that's super smart, Hannah. So... in this case, we're currently no held item. We wouldn't be able to choice band, yeah, because we need Surging Strikes to kill Porygon. But, yeah, because we definitely outdamage Metagross. So yeah, if we go for a Thunder Punch, and then it's a shame. Well, hold on. Yeah, it's got Water Absorb, because I'm like, ooh, if we could get Choice locked into Surging Strikes, that wouldn't be too bad. But no, we can't take damage from that. Yeah, because Because it's like, oh, if I could just get Scrafty in before Metagross, but I can't. What's the min T-Punch damage with Magnet? You could use that to see max Water Spout damage. I mean, I could also use Expert Belt. Like, I don't necessarily need Magnet, but yeah, let's do that. So, Magnet, Thunder Punch into Jellicent is 196. So, 311 minus 196 comes up to 115. Oh, yeah. Yeah, nerfed. That being said, we threaten to kill to Scrafty, so it'll never come in. So it's always going to be Metagross. Who... I mean, like, honestly... it goes for Thunder Punch against us. If it didn't go for Thunder Punch, we could just Surging Strikes into it twice, but getting paralyzed could be really bad. Yeah, especially at 71%, we take a little too much damage. That being said... we are baiting Metagross always for Thunder Punch. Can Chomp just come back in? That's what I was thinking. Yeah, we come in on T-Punch. It's awkward. Because I don't think we can safely do that, unfortunately. Because Earthquake doesn't guaranteed KO. I suppose in theory, if we wanted to try doing Choice Scarf Garchomp, but then we're not... yeah, I think we scare Porygon Z away instead of doing Mega. Not Choice Scarf, Choice Band. Shockingly, no, we don't. We threaten to kill on you. We threaten an out damage on you. Well... no, it would be Scrafty because we'd be at half HP. So Scrafty would see a kill with close combat. Which could be good in its own way, but... no. Yeah. That being said, Thunder Punch does so much damage. But we could swap to Garchomp on Thunder Punch to then bait Meteor Mash into Basculegion. Because what I'm thinking now is we actually do Assault Vest Delmise, and then... I don't think Choice Band Basculegion kills with Poltergeist. I think we need to do like 66%, yeah. Come real fucking close, though. And we definitely don't want to let this thing Earthquake. So currently we've only used 4 Pokemon for what that's worth. So it's going to go for T-Punch. Who bulks a T-Punch and kills this guy? Torterra, probably. Good night, Pio. So if Torterra comes in on Thunder Punch, I think Meteor Mash into attack boost could kill us, right? Yeah. 42 into 63, absolutely. And Earthquake isn't a guaranteed 2-hit KO unless we have, like, Soft Sand. Because then we always proc Aya Papa Berry, but then we just kill him through it. You'd think this would be ideal, right? Also, we are preventing Power-Up Punch, right? By showing a fast 2-hit KO. Good to know. Okay. Greninja's interesting. I don't think we can do enough with it, though. Could also be a Toge moment. That's true, especially because Toge will have U-turn for this. Yeah, no, comment on T-Punch. baits EQ into Garchomp, but at that point, yeah, it's Thunder Punched us. Boo-hoo, you're Earthquaking into a Mega Garchomp. Yeah, okay, we do a little bit of Barb's Chip back. We could even Fake Out if we want to disrespect him a little. Swap to Garchomp on Earthquake, KO with our own Earthquake. In comes Scrafty, who shouldn't be able to go for Dragon Dance because we threatened fast to hit KO. It wants to go for CC, so all we have to do is swap to literally anything that lives a CC and outspeeds it. Because we currently only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pokemon. Yeah, like, we don't even need Choice Scarf. Yeah, like, it drops its defenses. And it takes Life Orb Chip, like... Yeah, okay, I think that's the line. God, I love Togedemaru. I love Togedemaru so fucking much. Making sure that Urshifu can never bait Earthquake on that thing, and yeah. We can never take enough damage to accidentally bait that. And if we somehow fucked up our calculation and Scrafty comes in early, then Scrafty hits the field and dies to close combat immediately. Yeah, just confirming. Oh, wait, hold on. Not guaranteed close combat. Because Garchomp took the Super Fang earlier. We always live Earthquake at least. But it's not guaranteed what move we're baiting off Scrafty. So, yeah, we actually do probably want, like, Life Orb Dragonite or something. Just fine. Yeah. Like, as long as it doesn't Dragon Dance, literally, like... Yeah. Because it'll always at least go for an attack into D-Knight, because it can't D-Dance since we threaten a fast 2-hit KO, and also it'll see a kill on us with, like, half of its moves anyways. So it'll take some damage, and then we get it. Unless we have another guy who can slightly more safely kill him. Of course, Sneasler. Why not? But no, I don't want to make everything Sneasler. Primarina would be funny, but Granbull can't. Okay. Iron Tail misses scary in the moment, but not actually consequential. You just KO one turn later. That's very true. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think, do we just choice band Dragonite, honestly? Because, like, our other... We're using Assault Vest on Basculegion, and that's it. And also, I do think I want to bring Delmise instead of Basculegion for Porygon. Because let me confirm with Assault Vest. Yeah. Because I would rather if I somehow... not Banded Corv. Sharpbeak Corv. Believe it or not. Yeah, it was going to be Banded Aerodactyl, but then we realized Corviknight just does it better. But yeah, and I want to use Delmise instead of Basculegion in case I somehow fuck up my analytic bug knowledge, just because Delmise baits Dark Pulse instead of Thunder if we're wrong. Which Urshifu definitely always lives. And I think definitely always lives Dark Pulse crit into, like, yeah, max damage Water Spout from Jellicent. Because we never take so much damage that we show a kill to Scrafty or Metagross before we just show a kill to Jellicent, right? Like, let me see. 304 minus 129. 175 H points. We don't show a kill to Close Combat. We do not show a kill to Thunder Punch. But we always show a kill to Water Spout. And none of them outspeed us, so we don't need to worry about that being a factor. And yeah, I don't think there's ever an amount of damage we could take that would somehow fuck with the ratios enough to bring in Metagross or Scrafty, right? Because we can never get low enough to show a kill to Scrafty, and that's all that matters. It wouldn't even be Scrafty, because we kill with close combat. It would have to be Meta. Yeah. Okay. Well, shit. We did it. Thank you, Swimmer Boy Herman, for being a pretty reasonable fight. Also, thank you, Hannah, for reminding me Togedemaru moment. A Togeda moment. You know what's funny with Togedemaru I'm now realizing? We bait Earthquake, we could actually swap to Corviknight, and then bait Thunder Punch into Garchomp to be even more disrespectful. Okay. Yeah, it's easy to just focus on one Mon solutions, but Toge is the chip damage enabler. It really is. It's so nice. Yeah, if you're able to roll compress. The problem is that it's like I have a hard time thinking about pivots and stuff in these fights because they're all like six-man teams. So it feels really bad to have a Pokemon on the team that isn't dedicated to killing something. But that's not really an issue now, is it? I don't think we need to worry about leveling any of these guys up. So, Freeze, Dell. Actually, now that I think about it with Urshifu, if we were to swap to Urshifu and somehow get hit by Dark Pulse, that would proc Analytic Bug. Oh, wait, we already calced it with Analytic Bug because we're just faster than Porygon natively. Okay. Never mind. When you have monsters like Chomp and D-Knight and Urshifu, it's very easy for them to take multiple frags in a fight with a bit of help from some chip. I still can't believe we're going to see the mythical Garchomp 7-kill line. Okay, pre-freeze Dell. Equip Corv with... Oh yeah, also we need to make sure Corviknight is at least level 90, I believe. Yeah. And we don't need to worry about pre-damaging Corviknight. It'll take care of it itself. Pre... Oop. Wait. Let's level up. Did I unbolt it? Level up Corv to 90. Pre-freeze Dell. Equip Corv with Sharp Beak. Equip Gark with Garchompite. Equip Dell with Assault Vest. Equip Ursh with Magnet, which is funny. Equip Toge with Citrus Berry. Equip Drag, yeah, with Choice Band, I guess. Open with Corv. OHKO with B-Bird. Swap to Ely. Swap to Gark. 2-hit KO. And the nice thing is I believe Mega Garchomp never one-hit KOs with Dual Chop. So we always at least take the one Super Fang we're anticipating. You know, it's funny also, I'm worried... Oh yeah, no, I do still need to... Because I was going to say, like, I'm worried about Analytic Bug, but I am faster than Porygon Z. No, I'm fucking not. No, I isn't. Okay. So, swap to Gark. 2-hit KO with D-Chop. Swap to Pori Z. Swap to Dell. Swap to Ursh. 3-hit KO with S Strikes. Swap to... Is it just J-E-L-L or J-E-L-I? J-E-L-L. Swap to Gel. 2-hit KO with T-Punch. 1 to 2-hit KO with T-Punch. And the nice thing is if something goes horribly wrong with Togedemaru, or like somehow actually Metagross did go for Power-Up Punch instead of Thunder Punch, Toge always lives in a Metagross at +1. Yeah, I think after Citrus Berry, like, we shouldn't bait Meteor Mash, so we should still... Okay, well, Garchomp could be dubious. In that world, we would, like, swap to Corviknight on the Earthquake or the Meteor Mash, and then swap to Garchomp on the Thunder Punch. There's situations here where it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, 1 to 2 KO with T-Punch. Swap to Meta. Swap to Toge. Swap to Gark. KO with Earthquake. Swap to Scrap. Y'all, I mentioned a couple times how I like rewatched, some other streamers' fights for these to kind of like get inspiration, see what I can maybe do to get through them. And P-Chow's fight here is so fucking fraudulent, it's incredible. Namely because he meant to equip Life Orb to his Sigilyph so it could one-hit KO the Scrafty with Air Slash, just forgot to equip Life Orb, failed to get the kill, but flinched it. Iconic moment. Iconic piece of cinema. Swap to Drag. OHKO with the Wing Beat. And the nice thing is if we swap to Dragonite and it does no damage and somehow actually goes for Dragon Dance, +1 attack, it still doesn't kill us with anything. So, really nice. Oop. Oop, hold on, checking something. Okay. So yeah, swap to Scraggy, OHK with a Wing Beat. So, we need to review Swimmer Girl Katie. I don't think I want to run it today. I really want a little extra time to sit with the fight, consider other options. Because it's Monday, next stream theoretically wouldn't be until Thursday, which just gives me some time to sit with it and consider our answers. Because I don't know. Like, Hannah, I'm glad that you're here right now, assuming you're still here right now, because I would like your opinion on this line if you think it seems pretty safe. Because I think it is, but there's a part of me that gets a little worried. So we need U2, we need Togedemaru, we need a Ghost, but we specifically want Basculegion. And then we want Hisuian Electrode, and then we want a Sneebsler. Sneebsler here needs Black Belt and will be level 91. I guess I can get it to level 91 now, because, like, realistically. We want Choice Scarf on Hisuian Electrode. We don't care what's on Basculegion. Toge wants Silver Powder. Noivern, I don't even think needs Life Orb. Hold on. Yeah, it wants a Choice Scarf. Okay. So let me check really quickly. All right, Hannah, I humbly request, are you listening? Because I want to run this idea by you. I don't know if it seems kind of risky and I want a second opinion. I'm here. I'll see if I can help. Okay. So, step 1 of the fight, Oh, and also, I guess we equip Primarina with Lumberry. So, step 1 of this fight, we have Kingdra, real son of a bitch. Our Noivern with the Choice Scarf doesn't quite one-hit KO with Draco Meteor. So, we have a Primarina equipped with a Lumberry. Slow flip turn, Lumberry helps us avoid any status if we get Hurricaned or something. Slow flip into Noivern. Noivern secures KO on the following turn. We have Noivern with Scarf is faster than every Pokemon on their team, including Swift Swim Dreadnought. So we are going to pre-damage Noivern to Gunk Shot range. Now, I think we only need to do 231, but for the sake of example, we'll say 196. Because top roll of Thunder here is 160, lowest roll of Gunk Shot is 196. So Toxicroak is the first thing that sees we don't kill it, but it kills us. It comes in to Gunk Shot Noivern. We are going to swap to Togedemaru. It now sees a kill with Cross Chop. We are going to swap to Basculegion. It doesn't see a kill with Sucker Punch. However, it does see that we have a fast 2-hit KO with Poltergeist, so it won't go for Swords Dance. It'll instead go for its highest damaging move. Because it did not use Sucker Punch last turn, it should go for Sucker Punch. We swap to Togedemaru. We repeat until we use up all of its Sucker Punch and all of its Cross Chop PP. At this point, it is Togedemaru versus Toxicroak. We are going to, it's not going to click Gunk Shot because it does no damage. We are going to stall against it until it uses up 3 Swords Dances and maximizes its attack, which is why I don't think it actually matters if Noivern guaranteed baits Gunk Shot. I think if it Swords Dances when we swap to Toge, like, we're not going to be level 84. We could be literally level 85, you know, like just a little higher. So we never show a kill to Sucker. We always show a kill to Cross Chop. And then same with Basculegion. We always show a kill to Sucker. We never show a kill to Gunk Shot. Point is, though, we stall until Toxicroak is at max attack. At this point, Togedemaru, even at level 91, is 1 point of speed slower than Toxicroak. We are going to probably get rid of Nuzzle for U-turn. I'm going to have this be permanent for right now, but... So the idea is, we are going to click U-turn into Toxicroak. It acts before us. If it doesn't switch out, it either uses Gunk Shot that does nothing or Swords Dance that does nothing. We U-turn for 5 to 7% into Hisuian Electrode. Hisuian Electrode shows Toxicroak, well, it's at +6, shows Toxicroak a kill with Gunk Shot, I think. In which case, we swap back to Togedemaru. We do this until Toxicroak goes for the coin flip to switch out. At level 91, at full HP, Rotom Mow does not see a kill, Goodra does not see a kill, Durant does not see a kill, Dreadnought sees a kill. So they're going to swap to Dreadnought. Dreadnought hits the field, we U-turn off of it into Choice Scarf Hisuian Electrode. Choice Scarf Hisuian Electrode outspeeds Dreadnought, 1-hit KOs it with Energy Ball. At this point, the AI sees Rotom Mow doesn't 1-hit KO Electrode Hisui. We outspeed everything. Oh, but Toxicroak 1-hit KOs. It 1-hit KOs with Gunk Shot. So Toxicroak hits the field again. We manually swap back to Toge. We stall for 3 more turns while it sets up 3 more Swords Dances. We repeat the process where now we swap to Sneasler instead of Electrode. Doesn't really matter. Technically, we could start swapping to Sneasler anyways, because Sneasler prevents switch out because it threatens fast 2-hit KOs on everything. Point is, we pivot to Sneasler. If it doesn't swap, we go back to Toge, we do it again. We keep doing that until it swaps, which is a 50% every turn. At this point, Togedemaru is at full HP. With Silver Powder, we actually out-damage Rotom Mow. We don't out-damage Goodra, but we are faster than it. But we are slower than Durant, and we do not out-damage it. So, Durant sees first impression kill. Well, not kill, but it sees, like, Durant does more damage than us. Toge U-turns off of Durant, doing 21 damage. So that drops it to 206. We flip into Sneasler. Now, top roll of close combat with Black Belt is 213 damage, which is more than what his current HP is. For this reason, he will not go for Iron Head. He has to go for First Impression, which also means he hits us before we actually even get off close combat. I think we could also do this with Brick Break instead if we don't want to have to worry about the defense drops. But yeah, essentially, He hits us with First Impression, we hit him with Brick Break slow, and then we hit him with Brick Break fast after he loses the ability to click it. At this point, because of Black Belt, we barely threaten a one-hit KO on Goodra, so it won't come in. We threaten a one-hit KO on Rotom Mow with Poison Jab, so it won't come in. The only thing we don't threaten a one-hit KO on is Toxicroak. So Toxicroak hits the field, goes for either Swords Dance or Gunk Shot. We swap back to Togedemaru. We repeat the process. On the next U-turn, it should go for Rotom... No, I think Goodra. And a level 91 Togedemaru with Silver Powder does 57 damage to Goodra. Goodra functionally has, I believe, 300 max HP due to leftovers. 283 divided by 16 is 17. 17 plus 283 comes out to 300. 300 minus 57 is 243. Sneasler with Black Belt, 243. So what should happen is we do a bunch of damage to Goodra. Sneasler hits the field, one-hit KOs with CC after leftovers healing. Rotom sees we fast kill, yada yada, sends in Toxicroak. We swap back to Toge. We repeat the process until it sends in Rotom. In comes Sneasler. Sneasler outspeeds Rotom Mow, does 98% minimum with Poison Jab, but since Togedemaru does like 40% with U-turn, not really a problem. And at this point, it's only Toxicroak left, who Togedemaru can defeat vis-a-vis Smart Strike. Dry Skin lets it heal every turn, mitigating the damage we deal with U-turn, so we don't ever get locked into a situation where it refuses to switch. The thing I'm scared of is if we get sent to Fictionville, where it PP stalls itself. Because I don't think Fictionville is actually that unlikely. Because it has to use minimum 12 Swords Dances to always get its attack up to max to where it's forced to swap. Like, the line that we're stealing, Buy One Mills, uses, it only makes Toxicroak do it 3 times, and what makes me worried is, like, we can basically guaranteed get Dreadnought done, and we could, in theory, sack, like, Basculegion or something to get Sneasler in against the remaining guys, but, like, it's kind of hard to guarantee, you know? Because, like... Okay, I wrote this line down before. So there are 8 Gunk Shots, 20 Swords Dances, and then we don't count the Cross Chop and Sucker Punch PP because that's going to get used up. So functionally, assuming we come in on a Gunk Shot, that is 7 Gunk Shots plus 8 Swords Dances, comes out to 15 usable PP outside of, like, our switching. And theoretically, it can switch once it starts struggling. There is theoretically 1 to 2 extra turns we could buy, but it's kind of dubious. And that's why I'm like, I don't know. I'm so maybe on this line. Because, like, if I could find someone who could help us clean up these fights a little better, right? Like, theoretically, Goodra gets beat by Primarina. There's potentially some stuff I could do with Poltergeist by virtue of it outspeeding everything. Like... Because, like, the way that Buy One does his line, right, is once he KOs Rotom Mow... Because I think, yeah, he gets Rotom Mow in second. I think he just doesn't have the damage booster because he has another guy for fighting dudes. Where it's like, beats Dreadnought, Toxicroak comes back in, baits in Rotom Mow, and then the guy who beats Rotom Mow baits in Durant instead of Toxicroak. But that was managed by having just a fast Infernape that could live every hit from Durant and then kill with Overheat. And we don't really have that. In theory, if we could get, yeah, because I suppose what would happen, right, is if we didn't have Silver Powder, if we let Rotom Mow see that it did more damage to Toge than it does to it, then it would come in before Durant. Because it doesn't care that Durant does more damage overall, right? So, theoretically, if we get Rotom Mow in... And it's like, okay, if I beat it with Sneasler. Durant hits the field. Doesn't see that I one-hit KO it, so it should go for Iron Head. But, like, then what, right? Well, hold on. Would it even matter? We would actually probably need to unequip Black Belt, so that way it sees that it does more damage to us than we do to it. Or we just do a little bit of pre-damage. Doing a little bit of pre-damage seems pretty feasible. Because then it could see that it out-damages us with Iron Head. And at that point, we just need to find a guy who can swap into Iron Head. Funny enough, that could be Electrode Hisui. But then there's a chance that if Electrode gets crit, it's also baiting another Iron Head. It's like, if we have a guy who could just beat Dreadnought, and it's like, what annoys me is that if we could have a guy who could beat Dreadnought who didn't need a choice item, because I think this gets a lot safer if Sneasler is able to hold Choice Band. And it's like, Urshifu can definitely 1v1 Dreadnought, right? Coming in off the switch. Torterra can do it. And you know what? That's actually worth considering, right? Because if Torterra beats Dreadnought, Torterra is always baiting in Durant. Which at that point, like, it's baiting in Durant for a bug move. It's just really hard to predict what it's going to go for after that. I will say, though, yeah, in theory, it goes for Rock Slide into Sneasler. Because we obviously can't swap Togedemaru into these. But yeah, no, Torterra can definitely beat Dreadnought. It can basically have full HP after the fact. But it's like, it's kind of awkward after that point. Because I would love to be able to bait in Rotom Mo. That would be fucking awesome. Bait Leaf Storm into Sneasler, who has literally like any damage boosting item. But, well, it does always go for Liquidation. Hold on now, maybe I'm talking myself into it. Well, no, because we wouldn't be able to kill with Giga Drain. We would have to kill with Wood Hammer, and that would almost certainly kill us. Maybe with the Citrus Berry. Thankfully, these are all special attacks, because obviously we can't risk a Signal Beam into Sneasler. That would be bad. It's like Houndoom beats Durant, but it's slower. And it's like, we definitely can't outspeed it with a Choice Scarf. Yeah. So the options are, Urshifu could beat it with a Choice Scarf. No, it can't. It's actually slower. It still beats it. It just doesn't outspeed it with a Choice Scarf, which is hilarious. And it's like, I think it's if we take a Head Smash crit, because we have to use Close Combat. I think we can maybe use... Is it Brick Break plus Choice Band? Okay, so we could do Brick Break plus Choice Band, right? And that KOs without dropping our defenses. But if we get Head Smash crit, we take 68%, which would bait in Durant for first impression kill. It's annoying, because Urshifu is also actually really good for fighting Durant. But it needs Choice Scarf. Arcanine also does just beat Durant, but again, it means we need to have... it's the problem of, like, our teams being so slot compressed. We could save a slot against Kingdra if we used a Choice Scale on Noivern to max out its special attack. So that way, it can one-hit KO with Draco Meteor, at which point, like, being able to afford one extra Pokemon on the team could probably do it, but then we're spending a scale on a Pokemon that we don't necessarily care about doing that on, if that makes sense. The nice thing, at the very least, is that, like, Sneasler with Black Belt prevents Goodra from ever clicking Curse. I feel like I could find something here. I would not complain if you wanted to help me look for something here, Hannah. Because this fight has definitely beaten my ass. I've definitely accepted, like, if we have to use, oh, hold on. No, we're not guaranteed to live that liquidation, which is unfortunate. Like, if you're able to find a version of this line that doesn't require U-turn, I'm very intrigued, but I just don't know. But yeah, so essentially with 15 PP... Okay, I don't feel like it's as Fictionville as I maybe first made it out to be. Because worst case scenario is 15 PP, right? Swap to another guy, swap back to Toge. That functionally means we have to fail 8 coin flips. Theoretically, if we fail those coin flips early enough, then it runs out of swords dances. But that just kind of forces the problem sooner. We don't need it to have high attack. Like, it's just, yeah. It's like, fuck, I wish I could bestow this thing with a fucking Lepa Berry. But then it would probably just heal Cross Chop or Sucker Punch. It's like, can I edit the game's data to put Swords Dance in the top slot of Toxicroak's move list? Is that allowed? Would that disqualify me from the sheet? Like, I feel like I could really safely use this to at least get through Durant and Gudra. Or it would be, yeah, Durant and Gudra. And Rotom Mo is definitely the Pokemon I'm, like, the least threatened by. But yeah, so basically the idea is if we gave Urshifu no choice item, it still always lives, and I think basically guaranteed baits in Durant because we've dropped our defenses. Unless it misses. It is entirely possible that it just misses with Head Smash. At which point, yeah, we show more damage to Toxicroak anyways. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. Yeah, no, Urshifu totally does this. It doesn't matter that Urshifu doesn't always show Durant a kill, because if we ever have HP low enough to show Durant a kill, our HP is low enough to show Toxicroak a kill. The issue actually would become Rotom Mo. But in theory, if we had a damage boosting item a la Life Orb, then we threaten fast kill to Rotom Mo, not fast kill to Toxicroak. We do threaten fast kill to Durant. Oh, that's right. No, we need Choice Scarf. That's why. It's because we have to be faster than Durant. But that is theoretically no, because that's with Life Orb. Because, like, okay, it hits us with Head Smash. Crits for 207. So if we're 304 minus 207, drops us to 97, and then we reduce our defenses by 1 each. Do we bait Signal Beam on Rotom? No, we don't bait Signal Beam at least. It's always either Thunder or Leaf Storm. This does require our choice item, though. Which is, in theory... I can't necessarily say it's a free swap to Urshifu, right? Or, to Sneasler, right? Like... Yeah, because if we pre-statused Sneasler, we could safely come in on Thunder, but not really. We can't even really safely pre-status. Because we need the damage boosting item in order to kill. Yeah. Such a shame that Mega Garchomp dies to liquidation. Because, like, there are definitely some guys who can beat Dreadnought in a fight. Beware can absolutely beat Dreadnought in a 1v1. It's, like, basically guaranteed baiting in Rotom Mow afterwards, but it can do it. But then we run into the whole issue before of, like, slot compression and all that. It's like, the problem is that Baiwan's line has Dragapult. So Dragapult is able to KO Kingdra without extra support and be the ghost type for pivoting on Toxicroak. As to where we need Primarina to guarantee the damage to get the kill, and we need Basculegion to be able to fucking get his goat. I do at least feel like I have interesting new options with this line, so that's nice. In theory, there's a world where we, like, PP stall all of its gunk shots, too, and then, like, try to set up, like, a future sight or something. Because, like, Slowbro can absolutely set up future sight and then just immediately kill Toxicroak. But, like, what do we really gain from having Future Sight slam into Rotom Mow? All of our guys who kill it fast anyways. But yeah, so Urshifu with a damage boosting item. If crit, always baits Endurant. I think it kind of generically always baits Endurant anyways, TBH. It's just the fact that Durant can miss with all of its moves. And it's, like, not even that unlikely. It's, like, 30% chance to miss. Okay, 20% chance. This Pokemon's attack is multiplied by 1.5 and the accuracy of its physical attacks are multiplied by 0.08. Which is, fun fact, all of them. And it's like, it's so annoying because Greninja actually beats Durant's ass. It just kills it with Surf, but first impression. So... like, Arcanine can beat Durant with Flare Blitz if you give it a Choice Scarf. But that's hard to do. Because I have no one who takes, like, low damage from Cross Chop. I don't have someone who just bulks Cross Chop damage. It does 100 base power. I need a Ghost type. Though, I suppose it is worth noting, Delmise does specifically bait Gunk Shot over Sucker Punch. So, in theory, it is possible to PP stall Gunk Shot for the most part. Yeah, if we used... in theory, yeah, we don't even necessarily need that. We could just swap Basculegion and Toge back and forth until Toxicroak's fully out of moves that aren't Swords Dance. It's really hard to prevent it from swapping out, though, vis-a-vis damage, because it regens HP every turn. There is also just the option of bringing someone in to kill Toxicroak, right? Like, we do the thing for Dreadnought. It is actually worth noting that I think Noivern... I do think Noivern Draco Meteor does kill Rotom Mow after max power Togedemaru U-turn. No, it doesn't. It definitely doesn't. Well, 59 plus 42. Yeah, no, it totally does. So that's a thing that exists? It's also like, theoretically, there could be a situation where we PP stall Toxicroak out of all of its offensive moves, and then we swap to Noivern and, like, set up Tailwind. But, like, what if it doesn't switch, right? It would need to be, like, Tailwind, swap to a guy who kills Toxicroak. So Tailwind, swap to a guy who kills Toxicroak, kill Toxicroak, and then kill the thing that comes in after Toxicroak, which is, like, Rotom Mow. Which isn't that efficient. Oh yeah, Lucario... No, Lucario actually can't beat Dreadnought. Lucario can beat Dreadnought if Dreadnought is choice locked into Head Smash. Which is theoretically possible by you turning to a guy who baits Head Smash and then swapping to Lucario, but that feels stupid. Although it means Lucario doesn't need to use a choice item. Yeah, they swapped to Dreadnought, we swapped to Basculegion. It's actually kind of interesting. Like, Corviknight can come in on Toxicroak for free. Can't do anything, but it can come in. It's also very frustrating that Kingdra sees a KO on Altaria with both Dragon Pulse and Ice Beam. If I could get it to just be Dragon Pulse, Altaria would be so good at the start of this fight. Mega Evolve, block Dragon Pulse, kill with Burn boosted Facade, not bait in Rotom Mow, do bait in Toxicroak for Gunk Shot. It would have been perfect. But alas, quad weak to Ice. Incredibly funny, incredibly bad. I actually wonder. Doesn't really work, I don't think. Crits up to 57. Yeah, no, we still almost bait in Rotom Mow every time. I just need to find the right answer for Dreadnought. Sceptile can also fast kill it with Choice Scarf. That is an option. But it's like, the problem is that Sceptile's just doing what Hisuian Electrode is doing. Nothing particularly fancy. Which isn't a bad thing, but like... You know, it's we get Toxicroak back in, and then, like, it can't kill anyone else. It kind of learns a monoculture of moves. Because we can't take advantage of Natural Gift, since we have to hold the thing. In theory, we could learn, like, X-Scissor, but I don't know. I don't think that's probably going to do enough to kill Rotom Mow. It's not. There is also, in theory, a version of the line... No, we still need Choice Scarf on Noivern because we have to be faster than Dreadnought. So I was going to say, like, we could Icy Wind Kingdra with Primarina and then flip turn if we were willing to be a little risky with it. Odds are pretty unlikely that we would get double confused via Hurricane just based on the ranges, but it's theoretically possible. But even if we slowed down Kingdra for Noivern to kill it, then it's just always baiting in Dreadnought for Head Smash. Which, admittedly, isn't the worst thing in the world if we have a line that can, like, take care of it. It's like, okay, we get Dreadnought in on a Head Smash. We swap to Torterra, who beats it. Yeah, no, the problem is just, like, the line falls apart at Durant. But yeah, like, I think it's Torterra with Citrus Berry. Always, even after, like, Dreadnought taking max recoil damage from Head Smash, the amount we regain off Giga Drain is just enough to always bait in Durant for specifically First Impression or Leech Life. Then, theoretically, we can swap to Noivern to bulk those moves. I think I did this math a while ago. We can swap to Noivern and then swap back to Urshifu. The idea being that by burning the potential turn where it could click First Impression, we're either getting hit by, like, a move and a non-Bug Gem boosted move. Yeah, point is, I believe Urshifu can beat Durant and then always bait in Rotom Mow for Thunder or Leaf Storm. Because the idea is, if it misses, it at least can't use First Impression, and it means Noivern's at full HP, so it's always going for Rock Slide. Rock Slide into Leech Life because it still has its Bug Gem, which we always live. Or if it does use First Impression or Leech Life and it hits, the Bug Gem's used up, it's basically going for random move into Urshifu, but at that point, no Bug Gem boosted Leech Life crit into another Leech Life crit never kills. So at that point, we could do, like, Mystic Water. Export, import. And, like, then Rotom Mow comes in for either Thunder or Leaf Storm. It's such a shame that Signal Beam confuses, because it could genuinely be an option to swap to Torterra to bulk Thunder or Leaf Storm, and then safely swap into someone who kills with Poison Jab. But it's like, if we get hit low enough, we could bait Signal Beam, and if we come in, yeah, like, we don't take a lot of damage, but we get confused. Who's fucking blowing up my phone right now? Huh. My dad says he's moving to Oklahoma. I guess. I'll wait for my wife to hear that in the stream thing. I guess my dad is moving to Oklahoma? I don't know. I just got a text about it. I do not know. He could be pranking us. This feels like a thing he would prank us with. Who?
He's in Oklahoma.
The cows? Yeah, Poison Jab doesn't do it. He's 2 days early, but that could be the ploy to make you believe him, you know? Very devilish, Seymour. Hi, April. Hi, chat. 5 a.m. bedtime. Bye, April. Bye, chat. Bye, Suples. Thank you for the message. Okay. Oh, yeah, you know, that's a really good point, Turtle. He could be waiting until April 1st to say April Fools. So, hold on. I'm going to call his bluff. Doing an early April Fool's thing. Or... Because, yeah, no, he does want to meet up soon, but he wants to do... Because Easter dinner is the 5th, so that'd be a while after April Wednesday. April Fools. So, like... Roserade can come in on Rotom Mo and kill if she has, like, Choice Scarf, right? We would need to pre-status. We would need to pre-status in case of Thunder and give her Choice Scarf. And then, at that rate, I think we're always baiting Gunk Shot on Toxicroak. My favorite steamed hams are steamed ham. I see you're having a good time, Souplez. Okay, bedtime for real. Well, thanks for popping in, owner of Steamed Hams Incorporated. Yeah, so... Roserade can fast KO Rotom and then bait in Toxicroak for Gunk Shot always. Corviknight is able to come in on Gunk Shot and then I think always live Cross Chop into Brave Bird Recoil with the Citrus Berry. And then it's like, what? We're baiting in... Probably Goodra, 34%, 38%. Yeah, always Goodra, I think. There might be like a very small window of damage where Corviknight does less damage to Durant than it does to us. But I think pretty much any of those scenarios bait in Goodra instead. But it's like at this point there's 2 Pokemon left and we have no slots remaining on our team, right? And no answer. Oh wait, no, in this world we took care of Durant earlier, didn't we? That's right, we used Urshifu to beat it. So in that case, Corviknight can beat Toxicroak, bring in Goodra. The problem is that Goodra could absolutely go for Curse, and I just don't think Primarina has the sauce to beat it in a 1v1, especially if she had to take 2 hits from Kingdra earlier. But maybe another answer to Toxicroak. Teach Lucario Psychic. Yeah, Lucario with Psychic does absolutely kill Toxicroak. I think it needs a Choice Scarf to outspeed it, though. Yeah. Choice Scarf Excadrill also outspeeds and kills. It at least always baits Aqua Tail and Goodra, but like... God, because if we could guarantee that Urshifu has more HP, Surging Strikes actually does kind of hard counter this guy. Because, yeah, we crit through its damage. Like, the first turn we use Surging Strikes, it's at full HP. It's not going to rest. And then on the follow-up turn, when we Surging Strikes it, we're faster than it, so it doesn't have time to rest. And if it curses... Fuck, can Urshifu beat this guy? I don't think so. Because it would need to live two Aqua Tail. It would need to live an Aqua Tail into a Breaking Swipe. Though notably, Urshifu is also immune to Breaking Swipe functionally. Roserade, you can't learn Psychic, can you? No. You'd be choice locked into Sludge Bomb anyways. Okay, so I feel like I may be coming up on something. I do wonder how well Primarina could do with, like, Draining Kiss. Yeah, we don't recover nearly as much as we need to. Especially if we take 2 hits from Kingdra earlier. Though, I will say that this version of the line... We're using a choice item on Roserade, and that's it currently. So, we don't necessarily need to Icy Wind Kingdra. We can just do the flip into Fast Draco, because a full HP Noivern... That's everything. It might work. We were just able to get around baiting both Thunder and Leaf Storm. Noivern's HP is going to be low, but yeah, Urshifu comes in and beats Durant's shiny metal ass. Or I think if it doesn't have Bug Gem. But do it bug style. It's like... If I use Lucario instead of Torterra to beat Toxicroak. Or, not Toxicroak, Dreadnought. So we swap in on a Head Smash. We take up to 2 of them. Yeah, I think we're probably baiting in Rotom. Okay, so let's assume we bait in Rotom. And we take out Rotom. There's also theoretically a very small range of situations where I think Lucario dies to Dreadnought. It's like a very small range of like critical hit head smash, 1 below max roll into critical hit head smash absolute max roll, which is tolerable. Because yeah, all we need to do is make sure that it's either Thunder or Leaf Storm. Which brings in Roserade. Fast kill Rotom Mo. We're faster than everything, so the first thing that comes in is Toxicroak on Gunk Shot. We beat it with Excadrill. Oh no, Excadrill needs Scarf for that. Never mind. Big sad, big gay. So we wouldn't be able to use Excadrill. We could still use Corviknight. The problem is Corviknight really doesn't know what it's doing against Goodra. Oh wait, no, but we haven't actually used a choice item for Lucario. Yeah. It's slower than everything here but Gudra, so that's the one thing we know isn't coming in. But yeah, Citrus Berry. So we're currently only using... Well, no, we're choice scarfing Roserade and Noivern in this scenario. Yeah, so we would have to use Corviknight. Cross Chop is a high crit move, so getting wrecked by that is not that unlikely. Yeah, we're definitely always baiting in Gudra. It's like Lucario's almost a good answer to Durant, and so is Urshifu. Like, if we just give my guy Choice Band, okay, well, it's almost a one-hit KO with close combat, actually. But then we get our shit rocked by Durant. It's like if only we had a guy who was a little faster or a little stronger. And that's currently what's killing us. Because I suppose, what's Gudra against the lowest possible HP Primarina, right? So it would definitely always be Aquatail into Corviknight. It can't Toxic it because it has Hydration. Could potentially swap into Noivern to bulk the Aquatail and then bait Breaking Swipe, but if it goes for Curse, we would be in trouble. Well, not necessarily, because Noivern, I think, stops it from clicking Curse since we show fast 2-hit KO with D-Meteor. Baits Breaking Swipe into Primarina. Rest Hydration seems devious, but I think... Because Rest only has 5 PP. If we keep clicking Moonblast, I do think Primarina beats it in the War of Attrition, right? Because if it ever clicks Curse, does it become slower than us? Please become slower than us. It becomes slower than us. And at which point it cursed, so it dropped its speed, so we hit Moonblast into Moonblast. I do think Primarina might be able to beat this guy. And then at that point, the last thing in is Durant. Against Primarina, it's pretty much always going for Iron Head, though it's hard to guarantee. I guess the question is, can Noivern live? No. Can Urshifu live? Kinda. That's right. The problem with Urshifu against Durant, is getting turbo flinched by Iron Head, so we would need another choice item for it, or we would need a way to lower Durant's speed. But currently, we're only using Urshifu for this. So if we can find a guy who isn't Urshifu who beats this twerp, it's not Turtonator. Just like, because once it uses up its bug gem, Leech Life and Iron Head do the same amount of damage. Funny enough, Lucario would be, you know, I'd say Lucario would be bad for this, but actually getting flinched by Iron Head does make us faster than Durant. Take First Impression into Iron Head. I think with the Citrus Berry, we might always beat this guy. Maybe not always, but... And Choice Scarf Lucario does some interesting stuff here, maybe. If we were to teach it Psychic to beat Toxicroak, it could come in on Gunk Shot. This fight's really difficult. I think I need a little more time to refine the math, but I think we might be getting somewhere. Which is honestly more than I thought we would do. And it might even be a line where we don't have to spend that scale, which would be cool. Thankfully, we don't need U-turn on Togedemaru for any of the future lines, but even if we did, we could just teach it anyways. So yeah, that's it. We got one fight done. And we got a calc done. 2 calcs if you think about it. And I would consider that not too bad for the pace we're on nowadays. I think we just got to take it nice and slow. I'm probably going to concur with Hannah, see how that's going, see if we can't figure something out. But if not, I feel like I'm getting real close. I think discovering that Primarina kind of beats Gudra in like all situations is really, really huge for us. Because yeah, Aqua Tail does like no damage, and if it ever clicks Curse, it immediately loses. So that's pretty epic. All right, folks. Until next time, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate your company and support. I have been April, she has been May, you have all been incredible, and I will catch you all in the next one, where hopefully we actually, like, basically blitz through erratic weather. If we fix this fight, like, we have everything done. We're gonna go to our thing. So, until then, folks, have a good night. Ending stream.